Hey guys, it's Tyler here, doing video response to assignment number 3 about the PC revolution and Shigeru Miyamoto and PlayStation and all that jazz. The next big gaming movement. Gonna do it like I did last time. Start chronological order. First up, how PC gaming revitalized gaming. It all started in once upon a time, 1952, A.S. Douglas created this kind of computer version of tic-tac-toe. And then in 1958, we had William Higginbotham and his game Tennis for Two, which they weren't like big games back then. Things really picked up in 1962 with Steve Russell and Space War! Exclamation point. It was the first game really intended for computer usage. I do have a quote from Steve Russell that I thought was kind of cool. It's about inventing Space War. And he said, "If I hadn't done it, someone would have done something equally exciting, if not better, in the next 6 months. I just happened to get there first." And that meant like PC gaming was taking off. Computers were being used more after consoles crashed in popularity, and they were used for educational purposes and things like that. But PCs were becoming more readily available in homes. And you had men like Douglas Engelbart who were making computers better, working on mice and graphics and what computers could handle. And then, you had gaming move to that, so that's where the industry was going because consoles had crashed and you weren't getting good games out of that, so you can game on a PC. And that's how PCs kind of like were the little life support system, the little electrical things you rub together and like shocked gaming back and brought it back. Maybe not as strong at first, but was like, hey, you're not dead yet. Next part, Shigeru Miyamoto. He's one of my inspirations. And, come on, you gotta know him. Super Mario Bros., Zelda, Star Fox, Donkey Kong. This guy is, lives up to his little nickname of the godfather of video games. And that's pretty much what he is. He joined Nintendo back in 1977 as a staff artist. And he was introduced to the president of the company by his father, who was a schoolmate of the president back in the day. And he got hired, and he made all these great games for Nintendo, and he brought back console gaming. Come on, no one who's interested in gaming, even the slightest, actually, you don't even have to be interested in gaming to know Super Mario Bros. And Zelda, Donkey Kong. It was something you just kind of grew up hearing and knowing, pretty much. And, that's who he was, and he brought back the console gaming by, making games fun again. People enjoyed playing them, and that's all it took was, those game after good game after good game, breathed the life back into gaming fully. Instead of just zapping it back, he, rehabilitated gaming and brought it back. And then, here comes the next part, was Sony PlayStation, and how it basically ended the war between Sega and Nintendo. And I found a really good article, actually, on the whole thing. And it told me about, I knew most of this already, but so basically what happened, a little bit of history on it before I get into the real topic, was that Sony was going to have a deal with Nintendo, and then things went for the worse, basically. And the deal ended up going sour, and Sony was left with a CD-based gaming console. And what they did was they took it, they made it their own, and you know what? They put it out as their own product in 1994 as the PlayStation. And I'm a PlayStation girl myself. I love PlayStation, I love Sony, and but basically back then it was huge. I mean, you had 3D graphic capabilities, timing, and it was just so much better than what you could fit onto a cartridge, which couldn't hold as much information and didn't have as many capabilities. You put them on a CD-ROM on their own console, and I know, like, I haven't researched this, I just know it from the past, was that Final Fantasy VII actually was supposed to come out on the Nintendo, and it didn't because PlayStation had the CD-ROM, and the cartridges for Nintendo couldn't handle all the 3D graphics they wanted for Final Fantasy VII. They wanted to put a lot into that game, and it paid off, and it paid off because they went to PlayStation, who had the console that could handle what they wanted. And that's what happened, was gaming moved towards the CD-ROM because, well, obviously, as I keep repeating, because it could handle it. And that, I don't want to read this whole article. There's a lot, but it was hugely successful, the PlayStation, and it still is today. I mean, now it competes with Xbox at every turn, and the Wii's trying to slip in there with its own style of gaming. But basically, the PlayStation ended that cartridge era and 2D graphics and brought out, well, the new era of gaming. And, well, that's my video response to assignment number 3. And I will see you guys on the next assignment. And as before, the links to the articles and everything will be in the description. And I actually recommend reading the one that I did on PlayStation, because even if you know the information, it was a really interesting article. See you guys next assignment.